So I've played many ARPGs recently, ranging from Diablo, Torchlight Infinite, and many more side games. There was one ARPG that has eluded me in the indie space, and I never really got the chance to play it. Now that time has finally come, and Last Epoch is one of those games I've heard so many good things about, and also one of the games that have lived in beta hell, but I'll get to that a little bit later. It's not bad, but I did decide to give it a try, so this episode is my first time experiencing Last Epoch, and I just want to share a little bit of the things that I've experienced regarding this game and why I actually love this ARPG. Welcome to Chaotic Inc., and I'm your host KSTTV, and if you enjoy RPGs and just trying to have a chill time, then this is the spot for you. Now let's head right into the episode. First things first, let's start about what is Last Epoch. Last Epoch is an isometric action RPG with a focus on replayability and customization. The game is set in the world of Eterra, which is threatened by a mysterious force known as the Void. Players take on the role of a hero who must travel through time to uncover the secrets of the Void and save Eterra. Now, the gameplay is by far probably the most addicting parts about it, and it feels that dopamine that you receive in your brain. The game features 5 playable classes, which is the Sentinel, the Rogue, the Mage, the Primalist, and the Acolyte. In this particular playthrough, I chose the Acolyte. Each class has its own unique set of skills and abilities. Players can customize their characters by choosing different skills and abilities, as well as by equipping different items. Last Epoch game world is divided into multiple different timelines. Players can travel between timelines to find new enemies, bosses, and as well as loot. The game also features a variety of in-game content such as the Monolith of Fate, the Arena, and of course, your good old-fashioned dungeons. Last Epoch is genuinely a fun ARPG, and I can see why this game has so much love that it receives, and the fact that it's still in beta is quite crazy. I know games like Fortnite and other games that stayed in early access for a long time, but for how well fleshed out this game feels when I play it, it's crazy that it is still in beta. Granted, this game came out in 2019 and still pushing on from here. But there are a few bugs that I definitely have noticed, and from looking at the Reddit page, a lot of other people have noticed quite a few things. My biggest gripe with the bugs is how multiplayer is super bugged out, and it's hard to try to play multiplayer in dungeons and with other friends. It's just kind of like a sour experience, and it's almost like a solo experience. But once it works, it works. And I was able to play a little bit with a good friend of mine named Sora, and we were playing it, and it was pretty fun. But other than that, there's small hiccups here or there regarding some of the bugs, but it wasn't enough to really destroy my entire experience. Exploration is another key part of Last Epoch. The game world is large and varied, and there are many more secrets to discover as you play. The map itself is quite large and at hand, with the time travel being a huge factor, allowing us to travel at different time periods from distant future to the distant past. And I find that one of the biggest points of this game is the time traveling between the times, and you can find hidden dungeons, chests, and other items as the game is always further progressing towards a new scenario, just because of the fact of when you're doing something in a particular timeline, that whole world and life will be completely different if you go back in time or forward in time. Character progression is another big thing that set this game apart, but had a bit of familiarity with games like Path of Exile. But as you level up, you will gain new skills and abilities. You can also find and equip new items that will improve your character's stats. But what amazed me was the simple but in-depth look at the skills and character's abilities, as each skill plus ability has a skill tree to accompany it. My initial playthrough is that of the Acolyte, which is the game's version of a Necromancer class. And on top of the mastery of the Acolyte class, you can choose between 3 other sub-abilities alongside your main build. In this case, as an Acolyte being the main class, you can become a master of a full-fledged Necromancer, a Warlock, or a Lich, which, as I got to close to level 30, I chose the Lich once I got the mastery of an Acolyte. And, I'm playing just a little bit. I'm liking the Reaper form, but I haven't delved too much into the Lich class so I could get a full opinion on it yet as of this recording. The game is quite challenging with the bosses and elites you run into the game, and I love how every boss battle has plenty of in-game mechanics to make it even more challenging per boss fight. But if you are looking for a brand new ARPG to play, The Last Epoch is definitely worth checking out. The price tag is a hot $35 and still constantly being updated since its initial release in 2019. And by far, it is a challenging game with a lot to offer, and it is sure to keep you entertained for hours on end. There are some key features of Last Epoch. There's 5 base classes with 3 additional mastery classes with hundreds of skill tree choices. There's legendary gear to collect. There's a time travel mechanic being the biggest selling point of the story of Last Epoch, with its fast pace and action combat, deep crafting system for the gear you find, with the idols, and the idols change up how well you do. Like, I'm still understanding the idols thing, so I just kind of equip them. Like, I'll figure that out later. But I love that there's so many different ways of customizing your in-game experience, whether it's customize your abilities, and your abilities have a skill tree, and then your skills have another skill tree. Like, there's so many skill trees for everything, and it's quite interesting. Like I said, it fits into that Path of Exile feeling with just a massive large skill tree, and you could just get bonkers with it. But with the challenging gameplay and the sense of accomplishment receiving from it, any ARPG friend will love to try this out. But if you liked today's episode, give it a like, and if you had a chill vibe today, then make sure to subscribe for more. As always, it's been your host, KSDTV, here at Chaotic Inc., signing out. Peace.
I don't sleep, that's so weak, don't plan to rest. I'm from a hood where you die if you don't pack a vest. No culinary degrees, but whipping crack the best. Chefing, hard times taught lessons. Praying every night to pull up in park Benzes. What's my home is what you call trenches. You wouldn't last a day seeing life through all lenses. It's all tension, no sun and rain and plenty. Full-time job, still can never make a penny. I ain't rapping for